Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Spontaneous Brilliance Podcast. I am so glad that you're here with me today. Today, I'm thinking about consciously creating 2025. Whenever you're listening to this, you can, if you're listening in 2027, you can just think about this as creating the year ahead, right? How are we consciously creating the year in front of us? Are you taking 100% responsibility for creating the life that you want to live in the coming year? Are you creating the year that you want to have before you even have it? Are you taking responsibility for the fact, or not the notion, but the fact that you are about to create a year of your life? You are, not some outside force, not all the circumstances that show up. You are about to create this year in moments, and as these moments take place, you're about to have an opportunity in every subsequent moment to respond. That is your response-ability, my response-ability, all of us. That's our responsibility to choose how we are going to live each of the subsequent moments. Remember that in improv, as in life, everything is a series of offers and acceptances, of growing through offering and accepting and dealing with the obstacles and embracing the obstacles. Offering and accepting, that is what we are doing. And if we have some blocking thrown in there, that's when we get into trouble. When we start blocking what is coming in our future, or when we start blocking what is wanting to come from within us. Remember that everything that is, all circumstances, all behaviors of others, all weather, all animals, all societal shifts, all everything is an offer. Even the thoughts that you think, that's an offer you are making into your own life. So you have a choice. Remember that in acting as in life, your talent, your success lies within your choice. And we are working to be conscious creators. So if you consciously choose to approach each moment, whatever the circumstances surrounding the moment, if you choose to approach each moment with curiosity, with playfulness, with joy, with love, with excitement, with passion, this year ahead will be a magnificent one, because you will be choosing magnificence in each moment. Now, that might be a little daunting, that word that I just chose to use of magnificence, but why not? Why not choose magnificent moments? Why not choose to approach each moment with curiosity, with playfulness, with joy, with love, with excitement, and with passion, so that you can have magnificent moments? Your offer back to whatever the offer is, from wherever it seems to come from, can be one of magnificent curiosity, playfulness, joy, love, excitement, and passion. I was thinking, as I was getting ready to talk to you, I was thinking about, I like to put things in like 3s or 5s, right? So I thought of the 3 Ps of creation of the coming year. And so the 3 Ps that I came up with, that I'm not quite sure what I'm going to say about them, but these are the 3 Ps that we're going to talk about. The 3 Ps are passion, preparation, and protection. So what is your passion? Passion is the biggie, right? What is your passion? What is your vision? What is your dream for this coming year? Please don't tell me you don't have one. Please don't be thinking, well, I'm going to kind of just stay with the status quo. What? Why? What's magnificent about that? All right? We're going to start asking ourselves to approach each moment creating moments of magnificence. So what is your passion? What is your dream or dreams, plural, for the coming year? Dr. Michael Beckwith says, pain pushes until vision pulls. That's actually quite true of me. I noticed that in my own behaviors, that I will have a great vision. I will be intending something and taking action steps toward it, but I might be a little sort of low energy in my action steps toward it, or a little low commitment, let it go when when I feel like watching TV instead or something. But then a pain, a discomfort, a dis-ease, a frustration of some kind will show up that will be big enough to push me out of the chair, because I have to. I have to fix it, stop it, change it, transform it. And so I have to actually take action toward my vision, because otherwise all I'm going to be doing is reacting. And we're creators, right? We're not reactors. Lots of people live as reactors, as if that is the way life can be lived to the fullest. Just responding to the next thing that comes in, responding, reacting. And there is a difference between responding and reacting. Reacting is just sort of a survival mechanism, I think, whereas responding is part of that responsibility. When we notice consciously that we are responding and we have a choice of how we respond, that's what makes response part of creation. Whereas reacting, it can be part of just blocking. So what are you being pulled to? If pain pushes until vision pulls, then what can we do? Pain can be helpful. And I use pain as a generic term, but pain can be helpful. It can make us see what we don't want. And then we can move away from that. But we have to let go of it too, once we've identified it. I like to say, once you identify it, stop identifying with it, right? So if you identify that you have a tendency to block yourself in some way or do something, or you have some problem or some, issue in your life, stop claiming it. Stop identifying with it, right? Once you identify the problem, stop identifying with the problem. Stop making it part of your identity, because we are creating this year to come. We are literally creating the human we are going to show up as here. We are creating the character. So we've noticed the pain, we've identified it, we're not identifying with it. And so within this first P, which is passion, what is the passion you are being pulled to? Pain pushes till vision pulls. So let's let the vision pull. What is the vision? What is the passion? First and foremost, you have to choose. You have to choose your passion. You have to recognize it, feel it, and then be willing to claim it. You have to listen to your soulful self. You have to notice what is being shared in your heart, in your inner being, in your imagination. What is it that you are here to do in this coming year? Notice the offer coming through your intuition, your imagination. What is possible that your soulful self is telling you in very beautiful terms? It's telling you what the adventure could be. It is telling you what is possible. It is telling you what game it wants to play in, as, and through you here. Your wildest dreams, your most beautiful dreams, the visions for this next year in terms of health, career, family, relationships, spiritual growth, whatever else, whatever categories you want to look at. Identify the magnificent vision that is worthy of the word passion. What is your magnificent vision in your health, your wildest dreams? Because why not have it be your wildest dreams? Why just have it be, let's have it get a little better. Let's set that big intention and go for it. Because this is about you recognizing your ability to create the life that you would love living. So once we know that vision, then we have to live as if it is true. So when I ask you these questions, I'm asking me too. And I don't want us to just think about it while the podcast is going on. But really, this is one of those where sit down with a journal, with a pad of paper, sit down at your computer, sit down with yourself and ask yourself, what is my most beautiful dream, vision, passion for this next year? In each of those areas, what do you want to experience? How do you want to learn, grow, and evolve? How do you want to contribute? What is this next year going to be for you as it comes forward through your creative process? Once we know what that vision is, then it's time to live as if it's true. You have to take steps. You have to do something now, okay? You identify the passion, and then it's time to do. Because in acting, as in life, it is not about what you think or feel. It's about what you do. So that takes us into the next P. The next P would be preparation. What you are literally creating this year. So what do you envision it being? What are you preparing for? So this involves setting the intention. Literally setting an intention in each of those areas that is giving you a marker. Part of the process of being a conscious creator is uniting our two selves. There's an episode, I think back, episode 8, I think, is about uniting our two selves, the soulful self and the egoic self. And I'm always talking about them. But if you want to go in depth with them, you can go back to that episode. But the point is, you are actively needing to be in an intentional, open, and loving relationship with your soulful self so that you can, for lack of a different way of putting it, so that you can vibrate at the level of this intended life. You're deciding how your character is going to be played for this year. You're deciding your dream. You're deciding that you have faith in that dream. And remember, also from a former podcast, faith is not the same as belief. Belief is knowing that you could do something, and faith is having the courage to do it. So you're setting that faith. You're deciding the actions you will take in pursuit of that dream because, remember, acting is active, just like life. You're choosing your offers. You're choosing what you are going to offer. And you're choosing that you are going to accept everything that comes, all that is, as an offer. And just, by the way, we're also choosing whenever we're blocking. It's just we don't always own those as choices. We like to think of them as just inevitable and what we had to do because somebody else did something that we didn't like, right? So blocking is what is us doing our best in that moment. No. Find a way to turn that block into an offer. And we're going to talk about blocking a little bit more when we talk about the third P, but you're also choosing in this preparation, you're choosing where to put your attention, where to put your focus, to apply your faith to this circumstance. So there has to be a kind of knowing, a kind of repetition, developing a practice where you keep reminding yourself what that vision is and reminding yourself how to play this character that you are creating for this year. How do you play this character honestly and with integrity? How do you step into this dream and this vision with faith? Take the action, allow the transformation to take place, allow life to shift and change. You have to be willing to put your focus on it and develop a practice so that you can continually return your focus when it wanders off to the intended vision. So I might misstate this, but I think this is the way it goes. It's an Abraham Hicks quote, and this isn't going to be a direct quote, so just forgive me if you're an Abraham Hicks fan. I'm going to probably mess this up, but it's something like, it is as easy to create a castle as it is a button. It's just a matter of whether you're focused on the castle or on the button. I think that's absolutely true. It's just most of us don't continually focus on the castle. We don't intend for the castle. We don't hold the vision of the castle. We might have the vision of the castle, but then we start to get lost in what Mike Dooley calls the cursed hows, and we start thinking, how am I going to get that castle? And we stop focusing on the castle. And we stop behaving as if we're going to get that castle. We start judging whether or not our action that we're taking is good enough. And so then we stop taking it because it doesn't look good enough in that moment. So that's why we're developing a practice. That's part of our preparation. And part of the most beautiful practice for me, the most beautiful thing that I do for myself and for my frame of mind, and I believe that this is central to our conscious creation, is to be in gratitude. And I don't mean that as just a platitude, and I also didn't mean them to rhyme, but gratitude is how we move ourselves to a vibration of joy and feeling all of those things that we were listing earlier that we wanted to be in a state of in this coming year, to approach this coming year. All of those beautiful, magnificent curiosities and playfulnesses and joys and excitements and passions and loves, when we're approaching the year with that, one of the ways to get us in and keep us in a conscious state of joy is to be grateful for what is, grateful for all that is. So what is your practice? And I do want to say here, I'll also make sure that it gets put into the comments, into the description of this particular podcast episode. But I have a free gift that I created for folks, and it's called the Radical Gratitude Meditation. And it's at gratitude.spontaneousbrilliance.com. gratitude.spontaneousbrilliance.com. And it's just free there, and you can download it. And Rex wrote beautiful music behind it that's in a frequency to raise you to gratitude frequency and activate your chakras, and it's really cool. And so you can download a video version and an audio version with the meditation by me, and then also just the audio of the music if you want to just use that to put you into a meditative state too. So, little side note, but you can go get that, and I'll make sure that that link is put in here somewhere. So, mindfulness is that piece of being prepared. If you are preparing for this beautiful year, it's about getting into alignment, getting into attunement with the dream or the vision. It's about getting yourself to the place where you can bring yourself back to the present moment. Because remember, improv is learned present moment thinking. So when you offer immediately, when you're yes-anding everything, that is what is keeping you in that mindfulness. That is what is keeping you prepared to face every moment with that joy and that purpose and that passion. And remember that preparing means being open to the possibilities. that you are going to allow each thing that comes in every moment to be an offer. Everything. 6 months from now, that, stranger that you meet at a cocktail party or at a coffee shop that has a great idea that then sparks you to another idea, and then you find out that this person, wow, isn't it amazing that that person ended up being a part of my vision and I didn't even know they existed 6 months ago when I set this vision. It's okay. Those offers are coming. Remember that the universe never blocks, and the universe does not give you a passion without the intrinsic inherent ability to fulfill it. You're born with that. You are born with the ability to fulfill whatever passions you have. Those dreams, those passions are your sparks of creation. And now it's your job, your responsibility in this upcoming year to then create that, whatever that passion is that you're being pulled to. And in order to do that, in order to stay mindful and in order to stay open to the vision, it requires an open and loving relationship with ourselves. So remember that Uniting Our Two Selves podcast. We have to be honest about every aspect of what we're doing. We have to be willing to not only look at the vision and all the offers, but we have to be mindful of when we're blocking. And so that's what requires us to be open and notice and pay attention to ourselves and listen to ourselves. Because if we're not listening to our soulful self, if we're not listening to our intuition, if we're not responding to that passion, then we are blocking. If we're letting our protective personality, as it were, fly the plane, we're letting our ego fly the plane, thinking the pilot's just along for the ride, then we are going to be in a constant state of blocking. So now we're into the third P, protection. The protective personality is protecting us from that pain part of the Michael Beckwith thing, right? If pain pushes until vision pulls, nobody wants the pain part. I don't. And our protective personality kicks into gear. Our beautiful egoic self will protect us from things, even if they haven't happened yet. It will protect us from things that happened a long time ago. It will protect us from feeling bad. It will protect us from the possibility of feeling bad. Our beautiful, loving, protective personality can get into hyperdrive if we let it go free range on its own. So anytime that we notice that we are in fear, and I guarantee when we set the vision for this coming year and we commit to it, that the fear's not far behind, right? It comes and gets us. It finds us. It makes us doubt. So we start to be in doubt and fear about, well, what if I don't make it? What if I don't? All that stuff starts happening. And the only way to deal with it and maintain your authenticity as the character that you are meaning to be here is to be in an extremely honest relationship with your soulful self. Because presets are going to kick in. They're going to. That's why I call them presets. They're preset. And the minute that they're triggered, they kick in. Whether it's a limiting belief or an expectation or a preconceived notion or a judgment, they are going to kick in. And if you notice yourself in that moment, and you can have an open discussion with yourself, try not to do it out loud on the subway. That might make you look a little funny, but whatever, you do you. But taking that moment to be introspective and to listen to your soulful self. Remember, it's about being conscious creators. Presets are unconscious land. You're consciously creating this next year, so you have to consciously be aware of your presets. So just as you have spent some time looking at your vision in all those areas of your life, or you're going to when the podcast is over, also take some time to look at your presets. Identify them. What are the limiting beliefs that you hold? What are the judgments that you hold? What are the preconceived notions that you have around this subject of your vision? What are the things that you're afraid might be true? What is your expectation? Is it a positive, open expectation, or is it limited by some limiting beliefs? What are you holding on to? Notice those, identify them, and then just let them be. It's okay. You don't have to beat yourself up for them. You just simply have to be aware of them. That's what being a conscious creator is about. Remember, we made the podcast recently about what am I making this mean about me? So sometimes those presets are kicking in and they're getting into the land of what am I making this mean about me? Like if I bump up against an obstacle in the pursuit of my vision, not only what am I making this mean about me, but what am I making this mean about my vision? Oh, it wasn't meant to be. Ugh. Oh, there's probably not a statement on the planet that makes me cringe more. I guess it wasn't meant to be. Please, if you had the passion, if you have the vision, it is what you mean to be. What you mean to be has nothing to do with what some nebulous force outside you means or doesn't mean or meant or didn't meant for your life to be. You mean your soulful self, the essence of who you are, means to be, do, and have whatever it is you mean to be, do, and have this year. So that is both coming from you and it's on you as your responsibility. So please don't make it mean that it wasn't meant to be, because it is meant to be if you mean it to be. Okay? So choose something that you truly mean to bring to fruition, because that's what you're buying into right now. So don't protect yourself. Don't let the egoic self protect you from your dream. Don't let it protect you, hold you back from pain by stopping you from pushing into or being pulled by your vision. Okay. There's one more kind of protection that I just want to jump over and talk about for a second. And that is not just protection in the egoic self protecting you, but this is one protection that I'm actually going to ask you to do. Okay. This is one way I'm going to ask you to actively protect your vision. And that is from what my friends Marcy Scheimoff and Deborah Poneman call the negativity committee. Deborah Poneman says, a lot of times she will say the phrase, keep your sacred secret. And I love that phrase. And I say it to my children a lot because with social media and stuff, people will throw their dream or vision out there onto social media, especially people my daughter's age, in my youngest daughter, especially in her 20s. She'll throw her dream and vision out there, and then she'll be completely devastated by what strangers have to say about it. So I'm not suggesting, as Deborah is not suggesting, that you hide your brilliance. Not ever, obviously. But Deborah is saying, just as you would keep a newborn baby protected, right, from the elements, you don't hand your infant to anyone who passes by or entrust your child to just anybody. You are entrusted with that child. You are the parent. You are the nurturer. You are entrusted and trusted to do everything you can to bring them safely to autonomy. And the same is true with your infant idea or dream or desire. Just as you don't pass that infant around casually, don't do that with your dream. Allow it to be swaddled safely in your heart and your mind. And you can allow it to be protected and safe wherever or with whomever is your trusted safe space. It's not that you cannot share your dream or vision with your trusted one or two. I have a weekly meeting with my miracle sisters. It's 3 women that I've been meeting with weekly since the dawn of time, it seems. And we do share our intentions and our visions, and we hold them for each other. But that's a sacred space. So you keep your sacred secret from the rest of the well-meaning monkeys until, just as you keep your child safe until it's at full autonomy, you want to keep your sacred passion safe, your dream safe, until it is not able to be damaged or injured or ended by the careless or even the caring intervention of some well-meaning monkeys, right? Because they might be well-intentioned with trying to let their protective personality share their fears with you about what they're afraid won't work or what they're afraid might go wrong. So just remember that those people around you, they might be people that you love, but just because they love you and they are well-intentioned doesn't mean they are right. And they have their own protective personality that is telling you not to try, because if you don't try, you can't fail, right? That's safer. That sounds better. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to tell you all the reasons why. If you don't do this, you might be better off. There is no better off. There is no better off not pursuing your passion, your purpose that you can feel in your heart of hearts. When we start falling into presets, or when we start falling into making something that somebody else says means something about me, then we start to move ourselves toward being the person that matches what that meaning is that we've attached to it. So when we start essentially vibrating in alignment with someone else's opinion of us, or vibrating in alignment with one of our presets instead of vibrating in alignment with our passion, we are literally creating another version of ourselves. We are creating some kind of clone. We're creating the new version of ourselves that behaves and believes like whatever we have made this mean. So I want to talk about, I just came up with a fourth P here, personifying. Okay? What are you personifying? You are creating the version of yourself that matches what you believe. We're making things mean things. And if we can please remember to personify the version of ourselves that lines up with the life we mean to be living, the vision, we create the character that matches our beliefs. And if those are limiting beliefs, then that's the character we're creating. So let's create a character in this coming year that matches this vision, this beautiful, magnificent vision. Instead of one that matches the judgment or the expectation, etc., it's going to match the vision. We're going to vibrate with that desire. And then, of course, in acting as in life, it's about what you do. So to play the character that you are showing up as on the great stage of life, in order to play that character honestly, with integrity, you must behave as if your vision is true, as if what that character means to do, to be, do, and share, what they mean to create, that is what you behave as though it is true. And you take action steps. And remember, action is the key to manifesting. Faith and action. That's like, there's a Faith and Miracles podcast. I think it's episode 5 or somewhere around there, 6, 5, something. It's about the keys to manifesting. And you are manifesting. You are creating this. You are following those keys. And it is essential that you take action. And that you personify, you embody, you play full out the character you are meaning to create in this coming year. And here's a fifth P. Okay, I just thought of a fifth P. Play. Because please always remember and never forget, this is meant to be fun. Life is meant to be fun. Everything. If you are not having fun, if you have lost your curiosity, if you have lost your playfulness, you are blocking. I guarantee it. There is something in every moment that can bring you to the next higher moment, that can help you on your path of creation, consciously creating this magnificent life. There is something in every moment, and if you treat it playfully, and with curiosity, and with love and with joy and with excitement, then you will find that magnificence. What is that Henry David Thoreau quote? If one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, he will meet with success unexpected in the common hours. Okay, so you are going to have an expectedly magnificent, uncommonly magnificent coming year. Set that intention. Set it specifically in every area of your life. And then play your way through this year with authenticity as the character that you mean to create, mindfully, purposefully. So we're just going to run those 3 P's again. Passion, identify your passion. Know what your vision is. Preparation, get your practice in place. Get your support systems set up. Know how you are going to take action. What are you going to do with this? Get into gratitude. Get your daily practice set up. Listen to your soulful self. And then protection. 1, make sure that your egoic self, your protective personality, is not in hyperdrive, is not flying the plane. Check in, be in an honest, loving relationship with your soulful self so that you can clearly see what's happening in each moment. That's what intuition is, guys. And then, you are going to also protect from the negativity committee. You're going to keep your sacred secret until it is able to stand on its own. You are going to also personify the character that you mean to show up as on the great stage of life. And you're going to play. You're going to play every day in every way. As much fun as you can have, that's the point. That's what we're here to do, guys. So, all right, here's to a beautiful, glorious, blessing-filled new year out in front of us. Let's stay on this track together of consciously creating, consciously growing together, evolving, learning, shaping, sharing. And as always, reach out to me. It's podcast@spontaneousbrilliance.com. Reach out to me. Let me know what you want to talk about. All right, my dears, I love you very, very much. And have a beautiful, glorious, blessing-filled day and year. And here we go. The Spontaneous Brilliance Podcast is brought to you by Miracle Communications Group. Our producer is Michelle Oneida. Sound engineer is Corey Michaels at Corey Michaels Productions. Music is composed by Rex Miller. And I'm your host, Sandra Kavanaugh. You can learn more about me and all things Spontaneous Brilliance at sandrakavanaugh.com or spontaneousbrilliance.com. And please join the conversation here at the Spontaneous Brilliance Podcast by emailing us at podcast@spontaneousbrilliance.com.